Okay, we are live. Good morning, Trishadi, for joining in. Good morning, everyone. Today is the sixth match of the ongoing Women's ODI Tri-Nation Series, and this is the last match of the group stage as South Africa taking on the host Sri Lanka. And as you all know, that the final is already set on 11th May on Sunday. India will take on Sri Lanka in the final as after three matches, South Africa are still winless, and this is the last chance to end the tour at least on a high note. But that is the question: can they do it? Because Trishadi, as we have seen throughout the series, South Africa have put up a very good fight. I will say in every match, I will say, but somehow there were some moments that they failed to win, and that I think caused them to win those matches. So how do you see it? Can South Africa in this series with a win, or Sri Lanka going to a final with another win?
Look, I think it depends a lot on if someone like a Wolvart is playing or not. Because right now, I
Mm.
think South Africa has an extra challenge that India and Sri Lanka don't have, and that is to fight the heat. Because every single match, you can see how much their team is affected by the heat. So I think at the if you see, there are a lot of factors that South Africa is kind of pegged with, and there are injuries even before the tournament. Like for example, Anneke Bosch
Mm.
is an important member of the team. So that's one side. The other side, I think South Africa will see that none of the matches were they completely out of the match. They were always right there. Probably yes, Sri Lanka did upset them, but then Sri Lanka so far has won all the matches chasing. So probably that's one more aspect that South Africa will look into. And as Laura Woolward said, if it's Woolward, if it's Tryon, then Tryon will want to win the toss and put Sri Lanka to
Mm.
bat first, because that is where they kind of lost that match. So overall, I don't think there is a lot of let's put it this way. South Africa, though they have not won 2 points as yet, I mean, they haven't won any points as yet, but I don't think they will carry only negatives from here. I think there are
Yes,
some very, very good positives in this series. Because even in
absolutely.
the last game, when Woolward wasn't playing, when there was no Marizane Cap, there was, with all of them missing, you lost just by what, 13, 14
13,
runs?
14 runs. Yes.
Yeah. India
Mm.
scored three to, and that too against India, not even against Sri Lanka. India
Yes.
scored 327 and you scored 314 with almost your two main batters not being there.
Yes.
I would
Absolutely.
say India actually, it goes like this. India will probably end up winning this tournament, but will actually go back with a lot more headache and lot more negatives than Sri Lanka and South Africa.
Exactly. Okay, let me tell you that in the last match we didn't come for the post match live because the match got delayed, and obviously there was a IPL match also, so we had that show also. That is why we didn't do that. But in this live, we will discuss about that India versus South Africa match also. So if you have any question, you can let us know. But Trishadi, as you mentioned, I was just wanted to make that point that South Africa have also done well while chasing. I know they have lost, but the approach, the way they batted, I think superb. And the best factor, as you mentioned, that without Laura Woolward, if as a batting unit, South Africa doing in Sri Lankan conditions against India, 314, 315, and that is all, and that is not also that South Africa got bundled out. I think
Correct.
they were left with 3 or 4 wickets. So
Three
I think it
wickets.
was a superb show. Yeah, 3 wickets. So it was a superb effort, and I think that is the most positive thing that South Africa will take from this. And obviously, any direction. What a knock she played yesterday also, again and again. So I think that is the most biggest positive I will say when especially Madison Cap is not there. Um, and what about the innings by Chloe Tryon, stand-in captain, facing the heat, having cramp, and played that knock. Superb.
Yeah, I think, and if you look at it, I think in the last match there were
Mm.
two career-saving knocks,
Yes.
one from Deepu Sharma and one from Chloe Tran, because
Exactly.
especially someone like a Derek, now Derrickson performing so well. And bringing in two aspects here, I think Chloe Tran was facing the heat because even Natalie
Mm.
Clark has not done much with the bat in this tournament, but I think with the ball she was very good.
Yes.
So that's where I thought, it was kind of career saving for Chloe Tryon, and especially as a captain to lead from the front, that also gives a bit of hope to South Africa. And when you're mentioning Woolward, also mentioned that Marizanne Cap is not there,
Yes.
a
Cap
huge
is not there.
backbone.
Mm.
Anneke Bosch is not there, so there are
Yes.
three huge batters who are not there. And the other part is, of course, Deepti Sharma, another career saving innings with the kind of because now I think Sneh Rana has what 13, 14 wickets in this
Yes.
tournament, whereas Deepti probably has three or max four. But uh, if you look at it, just give me 1 second, I will check. Yeah, so Sneh Rana has 11 and Deepti has 5 wickets. So you can see the difference, and if that 93 wouldn't have come,
Mm.
when you had to make a choice for England, you probably would look for Deepti to make way for Sneh Rana, and justified. It's nothing, personal. It's of course the performance
Yes.
speaking. But now with that 93, now with what that partnership with Jemima, what has actually happened is, and that too is Sri Lanka. You have kind of you cannot now throw Deepti out of the team before the World Cup in India.
Mm.
So that way, as I said, it could be career changing, because I'm not 100% sure if Deepti will be there for the next World Cup or not. That we have to see as form goes, as time goes, as age goes. I don't know why is my light again creating a
Light
problem, but
goes. Light
anyway,
goes.
it goes. But yeah, I think two of and both very good innings, quality innings from both Deepti and Chloe Tran. Um, and I remember us texting each other as usual, that finally Chloe Tran is also scoring.
Yes.
Probably this
Yes.
is the reason she's in the team. I think she's finally
Exactly.
proved why is she in the team. But Snehashish, that why has now it needs to be carried forward, because the young generation, what the series has done for South Africa is, the young generation, as Woolward had said, needs to stand up. They have stood up. Yes,
Mm.
maybe crossing over the line hasn't happened 100%, but 100% what hasn't happened 1% also. Are bhai, hasn't happened 1%.
Uh,
Yeah, it hasn't happened 1% also. But having said that, I think the young generation has stood up.
Absolutely. And Mian Smith had a debut yesterday. I saw a beautiful video yesterday
Oh,
on social media. So beautiful video. Laura Woolward having a speech on her and all. So it was in the dressing room. So it was good to see Mian Smith a very good talent. And obviously Sangase. I think me and you were discussing that Sangase was looking a very ordinary bowler. But I think with the bat she was impressive. I think
yeah.
she came out to bat I think at number 4, and she was looking so good because she and Jerickson had that partnership that stabilized the chase. So I think she looked good with the bat. But Tushadi, I have last two questions on South Africa before moving to India and obviously Sri Lanka. That why South Africa didn't use Sunelu ahead of someone like Sinelo Zapta? Is that the injury is a concern?
I will never understand why do they send their wicket keepers before batters. Even
Yes.
I forgot what is the name of the younger wicket keeper who is not
Karabu
there.
Meso. Karabu Meso.
Karabo Meso. Why will you send Meso before Tran and all that? It
Hmm.
makes no sense to me, at
No,
least.
yesterday Meso was not there. Sinelo Zapta came in.
No, Jafta
Zapta
was
played.
there because
Yeah,
Meso is
yeah,
unwell. So
yeah,
now you
yeah.
send Jafta. Because of course Jafta and Meso both have shown at their points of times that they're not reliable as batters.
Hmm.
I think what basically is happening is South Africa is looking for a wicketkeeper batter. They want that position to be of someone who's a wicketkeeper batter, so they want to give them a long rope and see if they can fulfill that. With Jafta, I doubt that can happen. With Meso also, I don't see a lot of promise, to be honest. In the two games that I watched, I did not see her, and did not think that, oh, you know what, she can make it, or what, she at some point she can be a very good batter. Yes, maybe she might play a good innings here and there, but it's not like she can be
Hmm.
consistently good. And that is where they have to give more, more balls to face to someone like a Sunelu, because look, Sunelu takes some time to kind of settle in
Certainly.
and then go for her shots. Sunelu is not someone who will be able to go from
Right.
for her shots from ball one. So
Hmm.
that time needs to be given to Sunelu. Otherwise, then I will start questioning Sunelu's position in the team, because Sunelu is
Exactly.
not someone who's your frontline bowler.
Exactly.
Sunelu
Yes.
isn't your greatest fielder. And if you're not using Sunelu the batter, then what is exactly Sunelu's role in the team?
Exactly. So when you bowl well, that is a different thing that you use her as a spin bowling option, but that is not her primary role. Her primary role is as a batter. And if you're not using her, I think that will raise a lot of question. And that was very shocking to see that you are using Sinalo's up tired of Sonu in a chase where direction and Sangase made possible. Okay, we might go for the chase at that
Yes.
stage. So it was very shocking to see. Maybe that injury might be play a factor, but today also I think Karabomeso will not play. Sinero after will get another chance because yesterday she was in the press conference, so I think there's a high chance
Correct.
that she's playing in the playing 11. She is happy. She will be there in the playing 11. But moving on, the last question, Trishadi, for South Africa, I think as we talked that okay, the bowling was on average, the batting looked good with the approach they managed to handle, but what about the fielding? I think the fielding has been pretty poor considering the
Oh my
level of
God.
South Africa that we discussed. Always.
You know, I was on the verge of tweeting something which I stopped myself from doing because could have been a little unfair. And my tweet was going to be that there was a player called Danewan Nikark who was excellent. Excellent. I mean, a leader, batter when you needed her, a very good leggy. And South Africa at one point had dropped her, saying, talking about being unfit. Her being
Hmm.
unfit. She probably was not able to complete the run and in some specific time, and that is the reason she was dropped. Look at these people. They all of them are unfit. They cannot dive properly. They cannot chase the ball properly. And South African players this unfit. it's
Hmm.
it's very surprising, and South Africa really need to work on their fitness. Otherwise, that aspect is going to come to bite them. If you think of it, all the matches they have lost, now get them to field properly, save those runs, take those catches, the whole thing goes different.
Absolutely.
In fact,
And then
last game
especially
itself, no, last game, even Sri Lanka has been very poor in the
Sri
field.
Lanka.
I think
Yeah, Sri
India
Lanka
has
has been
looked
good.
better very good in the field, whereas
Hmm.
India has been okay, but they have looked very good because Sri Lanka and South Africa have been so poor
So
that
poor.
India's fielding has looked, oh, this is good.
Better.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think both Sri
Absolutely.
Lanka and South Africa has fielded as if they're playing in the IPL, the IPL standard fielding.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, let's talk about India for some time. Obviously, we have to talk about Jemima Rodriguez. I think Tushadi was bang on regarding her prediction that Jemima will score big in that match, and she did. Second ODI turn, and what a knock it was. I think me tweeted. I also tweeted. Tushadi tweeted that we both are tried, sick and tired, saying and saying again that please use this player at number three. This is your best player. Don't talk about the situation. Don't talk about the position. Anything. She is your number three. She can anchor the inning. She can give you big hits by the end of the inning. She can do everything. Just give her time. Give her the longer rope. She will deliver. So Tushadi award on Jamie Rodriguez. What a knock it was.
A word. I have been saying the same thing for years now. That look, I know there will be a lot of Smriti or Harman fans who will come after me if I say this. But if you have to look directly at a player saying who's your reliable, best future asset. You're not going to name Smriti and Harman in that because they have done their job. That's the point.
Yes.
In their own ways, they have done their job. Uh, but you are not investing enough. At number 5, she barely gets to bat. And then in the World Cup, in an important match, if she comes out at this power play juncture and she does not pull the team, because it might happen that one fine day
Mm.
it does not happen, it does not work for you, and you will jump at her saying, "Oh, she only makes reels and dances with the guitar, does nothing." But the truth is, you have to give her to face maximum number of balls.
Exactly.
And I was actually shocked when I was writing this piece on number 3, because there will be people who will say that you are the one who said Harleen is sanctioned for number 3. I said this because if you look at it, Jemima has not even been given a chance since the last World Cup to bat at number 3. So you're not even looking at her for number 3. I mean, this is the uh, weirdest decision by the so-called right persons. You
Yes.
clearly
In
had a
every
number
life,
3.
we are so in love with that right person. In every life, we discuss about that right person.
Because unfortunately, you and I can scream, shout, do whatever we feel like, but the right persons are the ones who are taking the decisions.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
somehow, the decisions, I'm not 100% sure they understand their own decisions. Forget about us
Yeah.
understanding. I have seen women cricket fans in Twitter, you know, writing in each other, timelines, like tweeting to each other, trying to make sense of the decisions made by these so called right persons. And this is exactly a problem with Jemima Rodriguez. There is so much class, there is so much technique, there is so much running between the wicket, everything, the fitness,
Mm.
everything is there at the right place with Jemima. You have to give her the long rope. Look at what you have done between the last World Cup and this World Cup. You have not given Jemima Rodriguez time even at number 3. She's at number 5. What is she doing at number 5? God knows. She's not going to finish the game for you. Maybe you can get in a Harleen Deol and say that, you know what, be at number 5, finish the game.
Absolutely.
But right now, what it seems that even in the World Cup, I don't know if now after this, after playing Jemima at number 5 for 3 years, you suddenly put her up at number 3 in the World Cup. Unfair to her, but I don't mind. Because last game also she came out to bat in the power play. She continued to bat
Exactly.
almost in the last over. And the best part is you can understand a person's fitness from the fact that she was not, kind of tired of the heat. Of course, she must have been exhausted. Of course, she must have been tired. But I'm saying the heat had not kind of burnt her out. She was playing a
Exactly.
fantastic knock. When the 40th over was crossed, she actually started
Mm.
putting her feet on the accelerator. That is where it pushed kind of Deepthi also to hit a
Mm.
six. Deepthi also hit a six for a
Straight.
change. Yes,
Straight.
and that six by Charani as well. I think a really
Mm.
good play. But
Yes.
something that you did not ask, but when I have come to Charani, there's something interesting that I have observed, and that is something could be an indication for Sneha Rana as to where she stands in the team. The fact that the team somehow still doesn't have faith in her batting for whatever reason, because you have sent Charani up before Sneha Rana,
Mm.
and it could not have been a left hand right hand question because Deepti Sharma was out there, who
Left hand.
herself is a left
Mm.
hander. So, which basically means in the pegging order, even after taking, in fact, it's very unfortunate for Sneha Rana that even after taking so many wickets, that Sneha Rana is lower in the pegging order, and Deepti still is a priority, even though with the ball she's not looking as sharp as she was. So it's unfortunate, but Sneha Rana has to work that much harder. I think even now, it's almost like Sneha Rana has to take wickets, otherwise she's the one who's replaceable, because that kind of clearly shows in where she's getting the batting.
Absolutely. Challenge never ends for Snehana. That is the main, which is the main line. But Tushade, I think another good comeback happened in the last match is Amanjot Kaur. I think quick breakthroughs, early breakthroughs were missing throughout the series. We were discussing in the pre-match live also that the Pacers need to take more wicket, at least give one or two early breakthroughs that will help the team. And Amanjot did that. I think she bowled a bouncer to dismiss Tasmin Brits, if I'm
Yes.
not wrong. And you were saying this thing about Kashmi that she should use bouncer and all, and Amanjot did that. So I think that shows that Amanjot is using her brain, and according to the condition, she's trying different things to dismiss a batter. So that was very good to see. But overall, Amanjot performance on her comeback, I think she did pretty well. What about you, Tushar?
Absolutely. I do not expect anything different from Amanjot. I
Mhm.
think I was expecting in the similar lines. Wasn't surprised at all. My only thing is I'm not 100% sure where are we going with this. Where are we going with so many experiments? It was kind of shocking to understand. So Amanjot in England, I understand. With
Mhm.
so if you're dropping Arundhati right now, the question again comes back to, so when Renuka comes back, and if that is the England series, so is it Renuka and Amanjot because Kashvi is injured, and once someone gets injured in the Indian team, it's a separate question altogether. That person barely comes back. Now I'm questioning Renuka's coming back also.
No, no,
In the World
she's
Cup,
posting images, doing gym and all. She's coming back.
gym is fine, but bowling is
Okay.
a different,
Yeah,
complete
that
different
is
thing,
also
right?
true. Yes.
Uh, I think the problem is the batting order somewhere, whether it's working or not, is still fixed.
Hmm.
Smriti, Pratika, Harleen, Harmanpreet, Jemima, Richa, that order is fixed.
Mhm.
But bowling, it's not fixed. Yes, one
Exactly.
fixed fixture is Deepthi, number seven batter and bowling. But other than that, nobody else is fixed in the squad. And that cannot be good signs because apart from the England series, you have nothing in hand to decide on your five or four bowlers, whatever. Deepthi is
Absolutely.
one, so you have to decide on your four bowlers. So is it Amanjot?
And
Is
that is a concern because in a series, whenever you bowled, you fail to defend 275. You consider 310 plus while defending 320 or 330. And against South Africa, it was almost done before. And before that, has been beats, getting not getting to continue due
Yeah,
to the hit.
Tasman Briggs injury and that Sneha 3 wicket over. That is what won you
Exactly.
that match. Otherwise, you were gone.
Exactly. Exactly. Against Sri Lanka, you failed to defend 275. Against South Africa, you scored more than enough. That is why you won ultimately. Ultimately, you considered
That too, you
310,
won by
350.
13 runs. You gave away
Exactly.
300 runs, 314 to be precise.
Exactly. Your fifth highest total in women's ODI history. still, you
Yes.
managed to win by only 13 or 14 runs. So I think bowling is a concern. Hopefully, in the final, we will see a better bowling performance from the whole unit, not only a particular bowler, from the whole unit. I think the whole unit is struggling, the bowling unit. So that is an area that India needs to work. But now we have to talk about the Sri Lanka before going to some comments. For Sri Lanka, Trishade, I think the same playing 11 again today because they have been good in last two matches, especially the batting unit while chasing. They look very,
Ideally.
calculative. Yeah, they look very calculative and very. I think the proper word will be the game awareness. They showed proper game awareness that at this situation we don't need to hit big sixes or fours. Just go with singles and doubles and then wait for the loose balls. I think that was the main thing in both of the chases. And obviously, the spinner did well along with the spacer because as we mentioned in several slides, the Sri Lankan pacers did well as spinners put the pressure on the opposition batters. Sri Malti Madara taking 4 wickets because she took the advantage of the pressure that the spinners managed to provide on the opposition batters. So overall, not any significant changes we are expecting in this match also for Sri Lanka.
Yes, of course. Because I don't see the point. You're playing a final
Mm.
in a few days' time. You would
11.
want your team, your playing 11, to be settled for the final. Because right now, it is more important for Sri Lanka to win this tri series
Mm.
and give them that confidence. Because ever since the T20 World Cup, they have been pretty flat, and that confidence is not back on, which they had before the T20 World Cup. So they need that confidence back. For India, probably even if they lose the final, they know that, since the format is ODI, somewhere we are still the favorites in our home soil. In the home conditions, we are kind of favorites. But with Sri Lanka, they will need that assurance. They will need that victory, and they would already be happy that they have this victory against South Africa and India. I think major victories, both chasing. But what will be interesting, rather than trying new faces out, what I would like Sri Lanka to do is, if they win the toss, they should bat first.
Mm.
And so let's try to win it from that position, so that when we go to the final, all our bases are covered. We have batted first, we have bowled first, and we have won both ways, or we have put up a challenge both ways. They batted first only in one match, and they were they scored 146 in
Yes,
39
against
overs.
India. Yes.
Exactly. In 39 overs, they just got
Mm.
146, and they look clueless. That's the most important part. How the number of runs do not exactly indicate who has batted which way, right? But Sri Lanka looked clueless when they were batting first. They were superb when they chased. They actually punched above their weight when they chased. But if they have to continue the momentum, if they have to put up their hands and say, oh, you know what, in this World Cup we are also coming in as a team which is here to win, which is here to challenge, which is not here to just get experience or anything of that sort, then they need to have a statement match today and a statement match in the final. Because I'm not 100% sure how many more matches will they get going into the World Cup. So this series that way becomes very significant. Same goes for South Africa. They would want to have these 2 points just to assure themselves that, you know what, the World Cup is in subcontinent and we belong. We can play spin. Um, uh, we can get victories here as well.
Absolutely. Tushari, can you check if the toss is done or not? Because I think it is done. 9:37. Just check once.
Yeah, Sri Lanka has won the toss and opted to bowl first.
Opted to bowl first. So they didn't go with the plan that we are discussing that they should go for batting. Obviously, I think it is a fair point that Trishati mentioned because obviously the result of this match will not affect your position in the final. So you should try the area that is not working for you. But it's okay. Sri Lanka have opted to bowl first. But yeah, I think the best possible option would be batting first. But it's okay, they have decided. But moving on, last question, Trishati, before moving to comments, that in the last, I can remember in after the first match, Sri Lanka versus India, we are discussing why not Chamandi Adabatu bowled, especially against a batter like Shruti Mandana and all. But as the tournament progressed in the last match, also we saw she bowled, and she came out to bat in the middle order at number 4. So
Perfect
is
place.
this
She should come
yeah? So
out in
is
the
it
middle order.
exactly that is my question? Is this the going forward for Sri Lanka, the number 4 for Chamadi Adapati?
It should absolutely be that. I know there were
Mm.
a lot of people saying that why is she holding herself back, but I think it works for her because the game
Mm.
is. By the time she comes in, she knows that the game where the game is
Mm.
drifting, and then she
Yes.
can control the game because she's your main batter. Whoever comes, whoever scores how many runs, until Chamari Atapattu plays, it's the same thing that whatever fan wars might say, for whatever fans would want to say. But if a Mithali Raj is there in the team, then your main batter is Mithali
Exactly.
Raj. It does not matter what is her form, it does not matter what is her age, it does not matter how many
But
years she has played. The moment the opposition sees, there was this India Australia match where I remember Aliza Healy was wired up and India was chasing. So Lisa Stalekar had asked Aliza Healy that the next to come is Mithali Raj, and what are your thoughts on that? And Healy had said that, you know what, I would love to see her in the dressing room as much as we can, because the moment she's here, she will start controlling the game. She's that good. You don't want a Mithali Raj in a chase to be out and playing in
Mm.
and batting. So that's what the oppositions feel when you have you have a player like that who can control the game. The same thing goes for Chamari Yatapattu. You have a player who can control the game, and you want her in at number 4, not 3, because I don't think Chamari Yatapattu fits in at number 3 at all. Either she opens or she comes at 4. Because 3 is a very specific anchoring job which has to be in ODIs, which has to
Mm.
be done by someone who is, I would say, a way more technically efficient or proficient is the word
I think
than
Harshita
someone
has
like
done well.
Harshita.
Harshita has done
Yeah,
well.
I think Harshita has justified that number 3 spot, which probably Hurleen hasn't been able to do till now.
Mm.
But yes, to be honest, I think at number 4 suits her, because that is where when she comes out, if the plan going forward for Sri Lanka is to chase as many matches as they can, then number 4 is perfect for you. I mean, not for you, for Chamari Atapattu. You can't bet.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And gives a proper balance to the whole batting unit. So I think that's a very good move yesterday, and hopefully that will continue for Sri Lanka. Okay. First comment, Prince of World. Hello guys, I waited Wednesday so long for post-match live. Okay, sorry, Prince
Sorry,
of World.
guys, but
Yes.
just a small announcement, guys, because Snehashish is actually doing this live in spite of this being his off day, which we barely get, of course, with so much of sport going around. So I don't think post show will happen because Naman is outside for a badminton assignment. Snehashish has off, and alone doing a show, it's almost like I am discussing with myself. This Kartik calling Kartik, as in Trisha calling Trisha, is a very difficult thing. But what we can do, of course, is after the final, we will all together again have a live, the next day of the final.
Positive and negative from the series for all teams.
Yes, absolutely. For all teams.
Done.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Done.
Okay, Sanjit Singh. South Africa have only themselves to blame for losing from winning positions. What positive for
Correct.
South Africa women in this series from your perspective? I think we have discussed any direction, obviously.
No, not only Derrickson. I think what is important is this series was about checking their bench strength. And if you
Mm,
actually look at it, apart from the wicket keeper portion, because that is still
mm,
something that has not worked out, even as a wicket keeper, I think there were a lot of mistakes. There were sharp catches that which were dropped and all that. But apart from that, you can say mostly all the experiments have worked. Derrickson has
yes.
worked. Last game,
He has a
both
Sanglas
Sangase.
batting. Mm.
Exactly. And who opened the batting? I'm forgetting the name.
Goodall, Lara Goodall.
No, no, the other one.
Uh, Yesterday, Lara Goodall opened with Tasmin Bridge
Yeah,
because
sorry.
Laura Olbert was
Number
not.
3. I have to check. Yeah, Miane Smith. I think
Mian
Miane
Smith
Smith
debuted.
also
Yes.
batted well. Shangase also batted well. So all of them, in batting department, they have shown a lot of promise. The other positive is, Sanjeev, that in the bowling department, they have come out with specific plans for Pratika, for all the batters. They have clearly come up with plans, and while they were not probably 100% successful all the time, but the fact that they have come up with plans and stuck to them
Mm.
has resulted in the fact that Pratika has actually scored a single digit score the first time in her career so far. Uh, and Pratika
Yes.
is not the only one I'm talking about. Even when they bowled to Smriti and Pratika in the first game, they had a plan of bowling short, bowling, not giving them room. So you can see, so Nadine Clark's bowling will be a huge positive. She
Exactly.
was always good,
Uh,
but I think her
and
bowling was
especially using her in the power play. I think that was a very good
Oh,
move.
that was brilliant. That was brilliant.
Mm.
I think both Chloe Tryon, Lara Goodall would be happy that the team showed faith in them, and they have kind of responded in their own ways. So I will say actually more things have worked for South Africa than you can actually see in the table, and that's why you need to watch more matches instead of commenting on things.
Exactly.
That is where the whole women's game situation is a problem. People
Mm.
question legends. People don't understand because they've never watched what has happened. it's the same thing. Now, if you look at the points table, you will think South Africa has been the worst, which is not
But
even
that,
true.
that is not true. But that is not true. Okay, Sanjay Sekar, again question: do you see Sri Lanka women making changes today and testing bench strength? Have they made
I
any
have watched
changes?
South Africa playing 11, so I can just tell you that South Africa has actually made changes. Good news is Woolward is back. There's Tasmin Brits, Lara Goodall, Miana Smith stays on, Andre Derrickson, Sinalo Jafta, there's Nondumiso Shangashe stays on, Chloe Tryon, Nadine de Klerk. Instead of Class, their left
Sunalu.
arm spinner,
Sunalu
sorry,
is
instead
not
of
there.
Malaba, yeah, instead of
No.
Malaba, Sheshni Naidu comes in and Ayabonga Khaka.
So Sunalu is not there.
Oh, yes, Sunelu is not there,
Hmm.
correct.
So
Sunelu
Laura
is not
Ulvard replaces Sunalu, and Malaba
Yes,
getting replaced by Sheshni Naidoo. And
yes.
this Sheshni, this young kid is very impressive. She was there in that T20 World Cup campaign also, 2024. And then if you can remember in that interview of Laura Ulvard also, she mentioned that she is very impressive and she will get more chances and hopefully she will do well today. So see again the point again South Africa making that this is a series where we are going to check all our bench strength. And again in the last match also, not by winning any matches till now. Still, they are focusing on that thing only. The ultimate aim for them,
Yes.
that give opportunity at least once and see what they can do. I think that's a very good
The
decision.
heat is helping them as well. Also, the Sri Lanka lineup is ready. I think there's
Mm.
one change. Manuri Nana Yakara is there in place of who, that I have to find out.
That is very difficult to understand. That is very difficult
Uh,
to understand because the name
we'll
are
soon
very
find
tough
out.
to and to remember also is very tough. So
Okay, so so here's the changes. I'll list out the changes. For Sri Lanka, there are two changes. Manuri Nayakara, no,
mm,
sorry, wrong name. Manuri Nana Yakara. Okay,
Nana
and
Yakara.
Nana Yakara and
Nana Yakara.
Inoshi Priyadarshini have come in,
Inoshi
and
Priyadarshini. Oh, okay.
yes, and Kavisha Dilhari and Inoka Ranavira have gone out.
So I think Sanjit has found his answer that Sri Lanka may be trying some of their bench strength in this match, but that is good to see because obviously the result of this match will not matter in the participation of the final. So it's better you
Also,
use.
South Africa has made three changes.
Oh,
Laura Woolward, Sheshni Naidu, and Ayabonga Kaka come in. Sunelu,
Hakaka
Masawata Class, and Malaba go out.
class class is got replaced. Yes, class and Malava. Okay. Ooh. So Chamari should consider her batting at number 4. That is what we discussed. Yes, at number
No,
4
I'm
she
not
should
sure, Prince of World, exactly what is the question. She should consider her batting in the sense. She also has to look forward.
yeah, she should consider at number 4. I think that is the best thing. Okay, areas for South Africa women and Sri Lanka women to improve on going forward. South Africa, I think the fielding, as you discussed,
Even Sri
Tushadi.
Lanka fielding.
Yeah,
Even
fielding
Sri
both
Lanka
of the
fielding.
teams. Yes, yes, both of the teams.
Though Sri Lanka will have a 10-day program with R. Sridhar, but
Yes.
South Africa, we still don't know that if they're doing anything specific for the fielding, but they need to. Fielding is
Okay.
point one. Point two is not giving their wicket away cheaply.
Hmm.
I think both the teams are a little guilty of that, and Sri Lanka also has to look forward to find ways of scoring more runs when they're batting first. They have to. They cannot be just a chasing team. It cannot be
Yes.
like every time Sri Lanka bats first, they lose. Every time Sri Lanka bats second, they win. Then it will become easier for everyone. The moment somebody
Hmm.
wins the toss, they will opt to uh, bowl first against Sri Lanka. So that, and what South Africa need to improve, fitness, fitness and fielding. That's it.
Okay, Sanjit again saying wish Hashini Pereira today finally gets out of jinx and convert starts today. Apart from the first match, it is good to see high scoring game and good batting. Ah, I think Hashini
Sneha
Pereira.
Kishan, I have no contribution to that.
Yes, but I think Hasani Pereira has been pretty consistent. I will say. I know
Oh
that
yeah,
she
yeah.
failed to convert those starts, but at
But
least
that's the thing.
she
You're an
guaranteed you
opener.
those 35, 40 runs at the top.
But
And
that is not enough. That was not enough for Shafali
yeah,
Verma. That is not enough for Hasini Pereira as
exactly.
well. 35, 40 in a T20 on a regular basis is fantastic. But in an ODI, it's below. It's barely average, I would say.
The same problem that Shruti Mandana has also faced in this series. Yesterday also a 51 and then she got out. So I think it is happening. So let's see.
Yeah, I think I jinxed her. The moment she scored 51, I was like, today she'll score. Yeah, she was at 51, and I was like, today she'll score 100. And
Yeah.
then the next ball, I'm like, oh shit, spoke too soon.
Yes, Prince of World, absolutely right. That more than India batting, India's bowling is not good. Every series, India's bowling only changing except one or two bowlers. Pinpoint. Nothing to add. Nothing to add to this.
Yeah, we
Pinpoint.
actually have nothing to add.
Okay, Ornit Sadhu. Yesterday it was a total. Okay, done.
Look, the times are tough, we all know, but
Yeah,
let's try to be a little judicious in what we watch, what we speak about, what we spread, and whatever message we are giving. Without knowing the sources, let's not spread anything or something of that sort. Let's not depend on the media alone and do our own checks and do our own work, like
yes. The
yeah,
main part
exactly.
is
Just
be a
do our
little
own research.
responsible.
Yeah,
Whatever
be a
you do,
little
be a little
responsible. That's
responsible.
that's the word. Correct. Be a little responsible.
Prince of World. Trishadi, tell about India's batting innings and Jamie's century. I think she has already
Yeah.
said, and she can continue, but we have to
Yeah, I
wrap
can
up the
continue the whole life on sorry, whole life on not the whole life. That would be too much. But I can continue the whole life on saying that what a brilliant knock. But on a
yes,
surprising knock, there are a lot of people who said Jemmy has finally scored runs or something of that sort. No, the girl has to get chances to do that. You know.
absolutely. Sanjay Sarkar saying, good to see youngster like Pratika, Malki Madara, and direction shining, standing up. Yes, that is good considering the future. Ooh, okay.
Take
Uh,
Anirudh's comment. Take Anirudh's comment.
Anirudh. You guys are discussing this now, Anirudh.
If it's about the fact that today is the another match and we are discussing the previous match, then I think we had mentioned that there
Yeah.
was look, we are a multi-sport platform. While we want to do every single sport with the and we do follow every single sport with the same passion, same determination to bring in more coverage. There are times when we are also not there are times when we are human beings, we are normally human beings only, but there are
Hmm.
times when there are so many things that come together that
Hmm.
it's not physically possible and also not feasible to do 2 3 shows at a time. That's why we missed the post show last time, and as I have already said, we won't do a post show today. But if it's about what's the political situation of the country, then I think to remain sane, to maintain sanity, we should continue with what's going on, with these shows, and we will do that.
Yes. Okay. Sanjit saying, what surprise Sunelu Narendra Clark coming so low to bat? Yes, we already discussed that.
Exactly. I thought they missed a trick.
Absolutely. With the current scenario and tension effect on being hosted, I think 5 months is a long time. I think there will be not that much of effect. We will see. I think we'll get a clear picture in 1 or 2 months. What happens when we play T20 cricket with pink ball? Whoosh! Why will play a T20 cricket with pink ball?
You play T20 cricket with pink ball, and let's see. And also, do not forget to introduce one drop, one hand. It'll be fun if you're playing it in the streets. It'll be fun if it's played international. Then it'll be interesting, to find out.
Okay, Sanjit saying from 50 for 3, how did South Africa allow game to go away? Yes,
Jemima
that was the
Rodriguez happened.
yes. I think these are the moments that I mentioned at the start of the live, that they fought well throughout the series, but there are some moments that they lost and that caused those matches.
Yeah, to be honest, Sanjit, what I thought was, look, you have to understand Jemima's initial game is to get those ones and twos going. South Africa were not able to stop that. In
Mm.
fact, I think I was telling Rohan, or was I telling my mom? Anyway, I was discussing with someone, because that's what I do every time I'm watching a match. I think I'm a pain to watch a match with, to be very honest, because there's a background commentary which is going on all the time, and there are observations which you get. My mom at times gets analysis which she does not care about. She'll be like, "Why are you telling me this?" That sort of a look. So I think I was telling her that the problem is India is losing wickets, but South Africa is not able to control the run rate. So
Mm.
that is where I think South Africa let the game drift and let the target kind of go out of hands. I thought above 300 was out of their hands. They played extraordinarily well. They batted very well, but yes, I thought that is where they let the whole thing kind of
Yes.
go away.
Sandeep Dungarwad, Kranti Gaur in the squad. We have seen her. Who is she replaced in the squad? It's Kashbi Gautam. Not officially, because there is no official confirmation till now. And I'm afraid that there will be some official confirmation by the end of the final also. But she is there, and she also did fielding in the last match. As a sub. So she is there. But you can say that she is there for replace injured Kashmi Gautam. Okay. Sanjay, I really love your analysis of all teams. Thank you,
Thank you so
Sanjit.
much.
Okay. Principal, India will definitely change batting order in World Cup. That's going to big blow for them. Do you
You
need to
know
make any change?
what I find amusing is even Indian women's cricket fans are so aware of the fact that somehow the Amal Mazumdar Harmanpreet Kaur duo, uh, in and the Neetu David, Aarti Vaidya, the other two, I can't remember the exact names, but anyway, the whole six of them, the management part, uh, they are going to mess up something, and the fans are expecting that all the time. They are gonna either
Hmm.
tinkle with the squad, change
Fans are not
temperatures,
surprised
change the
anymore.
batting
They
line.
are used to it.
Yeah, they're not surprised. They're like, "Acha, ye bhi hua? Acha, hua bhi
ठीक
kya?"
है.
That sort of a
चलो move
reaction.
on.
Yeah, move on. Exactly.
Okay, Ramaji is here. Sunelu is not playing today. Batter solo. The other day seems she is unwell. Maybe a
Yeah,
fitness issue.
the whole South African team is struck by that heat. I think they're not used to
Yes,
it
yes.
at all.
Yes. Even I was also having a chat yesterday after the match, with someone very close to the team. She was also saying that it's very, very tough for us to be here in this heat. Still, we're trying our best. We're trying our best to perform, but it is very hard for us to manage this heat. It is so tough. Prince of World, one interview. Jamie, please, Trishadi, like Laura and Snehana's interview.
Yeah, we also
Finger
want that.
crossed. Finger
Yeah, we
crossed.
also want.
We badly want that, but we are trying. But let's see, because it's very difficult, especially with India. It's
Yes.
very difficult to get an interview. So let's see. Will Laura Ulbert play today? Pavan asking. Yes, she is playing. Okay. Principal, what India need to improve for World Cup? Bowling and fielding. Okay. Ramaji, Tejal Hasnavis played well, but she is not getting chances. Not so
जगह
well.
कहाँ है?
Yeah, और नॉट सो
तो
वेल
जगह
ऋषभ
कहाँ
आई
है?
थिंक जगह भी नहीं है वो तो है ही पर आई थिंक
जस्ट
खेला भी उतना अच्छा नहीं है मतलब मौका तो फिर भी
ठीक
मिला
ठाक. She
ठीक ठाक
showed
हाँ
promise. Yeah, she showed promise. But you
आई
have to
थिंक
have a
अगेन दैट
very
WPL कम्स आई थिंक WPL में अगर अच्छा होता तो शायद चांसेस मिल
she
जाते
didn't she wasn't there, no.
हम्म तुषार दी ठीक है हो गया ये बात हो गया
अब
ये
इसका
बोल दिया
त्रिशा दी क्या ही कर सकती है.
यस Okay, Ramani, at post-match presentation, Jamie said she used to panic and threw her wicket if she played 4 to 5 dot ball continuously. Good that she worked on that. The ones who work on their mistakes will shine. Absolutely. And that makes a
शर्मा जी ने
great
पूरा
player.
मतलब जिंदगी का सीख दे दिया है. The
Ekdam.
ones who work on their mistakes will shine.
Okay, Asim Hans is here. Is it a worry that India bowling attack is conceding so many runs versus both Sri Lanka and South Africa? What needs to be done for improvement? Plan B,
Have
Plan C, Plan D.
need to have better plans,
Hmm.
need to be a little more experimental and be ready. Of course, to one is they need to have plan B, C, D, and the other part that they need to do is to execute and be ready to execute. Like you have to be open-minded enough to be wanting to execute those plans B, C, and D.
And obviously be a little proactive according to that particular situation. Because obviously when you are coming to play a game you will understand, okay, this might be the pitch, this is the batter, these will be their shots and all. But when you are bowling at that particular moment, I think then you know the best about the condition, about the batter form and everything. I think according to that, please be a little more reactive, proactive. For I am talking about the bowler, and please
Yeah.
ask your captain, give me this fielding, I will bowl this, and that might help. So, and that is where this plan B, Plan C, Plan D comes. I think that is what is missing, and hopefully India whole bowling unit will work on that. Okay. Ramaji and Trishadi, I'm confused whether to watch the later match or not. So please tell me two reasons for me to watch this match. Two reasons.
Why are you putting me through this? Like I'm done with my studies. I don't want to get to this. Two reasons why I should watch the match. One, you should watch the match because you love the game. If you love the game, you would watch any match.
Yes,
Switch on a Uganda versus Bosnia game in front of me. I would
exactly. And
watch
there is
that
no,
also.
and I think there is no other matches happening right now. So it's
Yeah,
better you watch this match.
yeah.
That is one reason. Yes. Ramaji, update on Kashmir injury.
अभी अभी इंजर्ड
Uh,
हुई है. अभी अभी
यस,
इंजर्ड
अभी
हुई है.
अभी अभी इंजर्ड हुई है, अभी वापस आने का तो कोई चांस तो नहीं दिख रहा है इस सीरीज में, तो एटलीस्ट नहीं। देखो,
Yeah.
मैं और तुषारी आई थिंक सब चाहते हैं कि इंग्लैंड सीरीज से पहले समहाउ फिट हो जाए। आई थिंक इंग्लैंड सीरीज बहुत क्रूशियल है टीम के लिए भी, काशवी के लिए खुद खुद। आई थिंक वो जो कंडीशन है वो बहुत सूटेड है उनके लिए। और अगर उधर अगर काशवी और अमनजोत को भी अगर मौका मिला, अगर उन दोनों ने अच्छा किया तो बहुत बहुत हेल्पफुल होगा टीम इंडिया के लिए। तो होपफुली फिट हो जाए, बट पता नहीं है, काफ वाला इंजुरी बहुत डिफिकल्ट। त्रिशादी को मालूम होगा, त्रिशादी क्रिकेटर रह चुकी है, ये इंजुरी बहुत डिफिकल्ट होता है। तो टाइम तो लगता है त्रिशादी, मिनिमम
Of
कितना?
course, I think her injury में time तो लगता ही है. Again,
और
depends on
स्पेशली जब आप इंडिया
whether
से
it's
खेल
a
रहे हो।
or and we also don't know the exact level of the injury. That is also
एग्जैक्टली,
there. Is it
एग्जैक्टली।
just a strain? Is it a muscle tear? What exactly has happened is something we need to know first, which we do not know, and it would be wrong of us to give any updates without knowing. But the bigger problem is that I think Asim Hans had asked about whether it's a worry or not that Indian bowling attack is conceding so many runs. The bigger worry, Asim Hans, is if we go at this rate with the injuries, then we are soon going to go into domestic bowlers who probably haven't performed very well but has to be taken in the team because everyone else is injured. If you see
Hmm.
your main bowlers, most of your main bowlers are injured. Very, very scary times for Indian bowling unit.
Absolutely. Okay, last comment, Ramaji. Again, will Renuka's ability make our bowling attack strong? I mean, just one change can make all the difference.
No, 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 not at all. I'm not saying that Renuka coming back will make the bowling attack strong because Renuka has, if you see Renuka's career, if there is no help in the pitch, then Renuka looks pretty ordinary. So there needs to be some swing in the pitch, there needs to be some help in the pitch, and that is how Renuka has been dangerous. Yes, there's one thing that works for Renuka, probably the experience. Other than that, I think even Arundhati was doing well. Arundhati was dropped
Hmm.
at the wrong time after coming back from the Australia series. She was in top form and she should have been persisted with. But now I think it's too late to discuss whether Arundhati should have been dropped or not dropped because that has been done. There's no point in crying over spilt milk. What we can do is if Renuka eventually comes back, because there's a big if with all the injuries, it's
Hmm.
very difficult to understand who will come back when. the only woman cricketer who can make this huge difference, the difference that you're talking about, Ramaji, I can understand, would be actually Pooja Vastrakar. If Pooja Vastrakar can be fit and playing in the World Cup, you will see a completely different Indian bowling unit. I don't think Renuka can do that. I do think that Pooja can.
But Pooja Bhaskar is where nobody knows. At least you can
She
see
had
the
a
names
surgery.
of,
She had a
yeah,
surgery.
but exactly. At least you can see the names of Asha Shobana, Shriyanka Patil in social media somewhere. But Pooja Bhaskar is nowhere. I don't know what is happening with her, but she's nowhere right now. So that is it. That is it. Thank you. Thank you for joining in, Trisha. Thank you everyone for joining in. The match has already started. Hopefully, a good game is waiting for us. Personally, I want South Africa to win this because at least
Yeah.
that will give them a boost, ending the series on a high. Because obviously, a loss here will not affect Sri Lanka's chance in the finals, and obviously, then we'll be back for both the pre and post match live for the final. Definitely in the final. And
Mm.
today, as Trisha mentioned, there's a high chance that the post match might not happen because everyone is busy with several assignments. But Naman will come up with a report. So if you want to get some points, you can get there by reading that report. So he will come up with that. Thank you, Tushar. Thank you everyone for joining in. Let's meet in the next match, and that is the final, the big final between India and Sri Lanka on 11th May Sunday. Let's meet. Thank you.